Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Fronti.
Well, Don Getling and our new co-host today, another Don. Don SHERWYN joining us. So you got the Battle of the Dons today, right, Don?
There is no battle. I concede victory to you.
All right. Well, we're excited you're going to join the second half of the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. Gino's out today, so you got Don and Don squared, basically to make sure you're in the know. We've had Don SHERWYN on quite a few times now. I love his passion, his calmness. I mean, whenever you hire an attorney, the main thing I would want from an attorney is someone who's calm and confident, and you always come across that way, and you're just so passionate, and we love that. And thank you for joining us again, Don.
Well, it's my pleasure. And one of the things that I think that you've identified is that I see the law as a service. It is a service that and that's why my firm, Reap Rickett Law Firm, is a place where I feel I belong. Because I am part of a group of people that care about the work they're doing, care about their clients, and put out the effort to make sure that our clients get whatever we can give them in the way of legal service done well.
All right, and you do a great job, and you know I'm very familiar with Reap Rickett. You guys, Reap Rickett, just so you know, is part of also America's Professional Resource Group, a group of the very best professionals we can find. After doing 6 years and literally over 1,000 YouTube videos on interviews with the best professionals in our town, we have found the best of the best. Those that are accountable, those are passionate, those are honest, have integrity, and are part of our community, and Reap Rickett fills that need for us, and they've done a great job. We've had Jim on, we've had quite a few professionals on from Reap Rickett, and now recently we've had the pleasure of having Don SHERWYN, right?
Yes.
Just making sure I get that right on our show. And you are so passionate, and so we're blessed to have you on the show, because we always get a kick out. I know Jen, when she runs the controls, she's always back there going, I love hearing from him. So today we're going to talk about something, regarding one of the two things they say you can't get away from.
That's absolutely right.
Death and taxes. So let's talk about taxes.
Oh, okay.
We're not doing life insurance today, so
That's
we'll
right.
talk about taxes.
Yes, death is part of the probate area of specialization, so I'll leave that to them. And but in actuality, there's one little aspect of this that we will be dealing a tiny bit with some of the probate and family law related tax questions that people face, and that's what. The reason why I wanted to talk about tax and family law matters today is because April 15th is coming up. We are growing closer to it every day. And one of the things that I wanted to start out with is something that a lot of people, when they start the divorce process, don't really realize. And that is, for purposes of the Internal Revenue Code for your tax preparation, you are considered still married until you're actually divorced. Till the court has granted and entered a judgment of dissolution of the marital status, you have to file as a married person. You can file married jointly or married separately,
right.
But you've got to file as married. One of the things that ends up being a real question for people during their negotiations or during trial or whatever is, what are we going to do about the tax return? Are we going to file this year jointly? Or are we going to file separately? And then that leads on to another question, and that's, how much do you trust your marital partner, who is now your marital non-partner, their financial doings, their financial transactions that have tax implications during the year?
It's important.
It is a real important issue, and it's a matter that can come up and haunt you months, years, multiple years after the divorce has been tried or settled and the judgment entered.
Now, how can that affect you? Because honestly, I love having, again, you're here on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. We're here with Don SHERWYN with Reap Rickett, and he's explaining the consequences of basically tax time for especially a couple that's going through a divorce. And I did not know that despite being separated or going through the process, that you still have to file basically as married.
Yep. That's
See, I learn something every day.
And that's a fundamental thing that so many people, they think, oh, no, we're separated now. We can file independently because I'm not with him or her anymore. But for purposes of the revenue code and for purposes of many other legal matters, you are until the judge says you're gone.
Wow. Okay. A lot of you out there going, oh, really? So, of course, now that could be a little temperamental, obviously.
And also expensive, because the difference between filing jointly as a married couple versus filing separately can amount to, depending on what your income and what your after-tax income is and your before-tax income and all your tax questions. And again, I'm going to say this probably a couple more times during the show. Any question that you have about your tax-related decisions, go to the expert. Talk to your tax accountant.
Mm-hmm.
They, more than your family law lawyer, more than your probate lawyer, unless they happen to be tax lawyers at the same time, is going to be your chief resource in planning a tax plan and a tax return that won't come back to bite you.
So this is interesting. So a lot of you out there that might be going through this, and you say you separate it one time of the year and you go through and you figure out your taxes there and it's still not done because it takes, a lot of times it can take years. Are both parties still responsible for all those taxes? Or is that negotiable?
The short answer is yes. The long answer is maybe.
So it could all be negotiable.
Exactly right. It can be negotiable, and in the state of California, whatever you negotiate and whatever the judge enters is binding. But your tax responsibility is not binding upon the IRS.
Oh, that's interesting.
That is the interesting thing upon it, is that the decisions that you make in your family law case will not relieve you of the exposure to the IRS.
Ay, ay, ay.
Just like...
I bet you a lot of parties don't think about that when they're going through it or even worry about it. They think, oh, well, it's their responsibility. But realistically, it's still your responsibility. Am I right?
That's right.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we have to go to break, but we have another segment.
Great.
With Don SHERWYN with Reap Rickett, going to talk about the responsibilities of basically during tax season. You are responsible for your taxes, even when going through divorce, regardless of what party you are. See how it's going to implicate on you or someone else you know when we come back to the Don Gino Real Estate and Finance Show.
Great.